were sliced in two and longed to be whole, fluidity rendered mute as a steel scar rusts underfoot. The ocean held no allegiance, it was too permeable a being. Watch me, watch you. You watch, watch me. We are at the precipice of Latin America, El Norte, where 300,000 of our identities and intentions are checked daily. San Isidro International Border Crossing, US, Mexico. Entering from the left armpit of North America and heading towards the brain. The Silk Road of a Chicano collective unconscious, a plaster perimeter marking our border diaspora. The 3-hour wait, softened by burritos and churros, all to connect our two sides, to be whole. I was raised in Tijuana, Mexico, a few blocks from where the border cuts into the ocean. My formative years as an artist were spent working with a border art workshop, which cemented my passion for community-based work. My current work uses craft as a performative medium to generate dialogues about identity, culture, and gender while creating community. This approach has helped museums and nonprofits around the US and Mexico diversify their audiences by connecting marginalized communities through collaborations, often using fiber and traditional techniques. With heightened tension around the border this election year and the upcoming Getty Initiative Pacific Standard Time LA, which focuses on Latin America and Los Angeles in 2017, the space has finally opened up for our border voices to be heard. 300,000 of us cross the border in Tijuana each day. The average wait is around 2 to 3 hours, and crossing is increasingly militarized. The majority of us are US citizens, crossing in complete isolation and operating with the stigma of living in Mexico while attending school, working, and shopping in the US. Craftsmen and vendors have been selling to border commuters on the Mexican side since the 1920s. 1,500 vendors now work at the current Mercado de Artesanías, established in 1986. Which has been owned and unionized by generations of vendors. It is currently scheduled for demolition in a few months with no plan for relocation in order to streamline border traffic and increase retail income in Southern California. It is the last piece of private land in the middle of the crossing. The market itself serves as a pseudo-time capsule of Mexican, Mexican-American, and Chicano identities, which can be seen by the Virgen with the stormtrooper. The market not only helps us cope with the stress of waiting for so many hours, you can get some fruit. Oh, no, go back. It allows us to self-satirize the perception some Americans have of Mexicans working in the United States. And that's the lazy Mexican statue. Born out of a need to use my skills to address an ongoing issue that has severely affected me, my family, and my community's quality of life, ambos, meaning both in Spanish, art made between opposite sides, will help humanize border crossing and activate this liminal space into one of mindful transition. Operating out of a vacant vendor stall, ambos will create a greater sense of interconnectedness in the border region, while simultaneously documenting the border artisan market before its demolition through artist interventions and commuter collaborations that address binational transition and identity. Ambos is a collaboration between artists from San Diego, Tijuana, and Los Angeles. And some of the scheduled projects include Quipu Fronterizo, Border Quipu, based on the concept of the border as a perimeter of Latin America. I am using the pre-Columbian Quipu, the Andean organizational system, as a framework to record our daily migrations to the north. Commuters will be asked to anonymously tie a knot, its two strands representing the US and Mexico's relationship to one another, our two selves at either sides of the border, and our own mental state at the point of crossing. Each knot will be collected from commuters and tied to other knots made that same day. The cumulative series of daily bundled knots will be organized into a large-scale quipu and displayed above the Ambos Market Space Hub. The Border Kipu seeks to materialize our connection to one another as a community and make our presence and experiences visible to binational audiences. Cognate Collective will be conducting and broadcasting live conversations with artists, researchers, and activists while crossing the border, as well as local oral histories and DJ sets via their pirate radio car. Aura will be curating 24 hours of film programming about the border to be projected on the border. Photographer Ingrid Hernandez will be collecting images of the crossing sourced from commuters to create a free publication titled Border Experience. Ambos launches August 5th, which is next week, a newspaper about the history of the market and scheduled artist interventions is currently being distributed at the border. Branding is in place. Our website is live. I haven't checked, but I think it should be live. Social media campaigns have been ongoing. But much of the project's strength lies in establishing an armature that can support future projects at the crossing beyond ambos phases. And the phases, you say? Phase 1, border activations. Phase 2, art carts with schools in LA, San Diego, and Tijuana universities. Phase 3, Phase 3, PST, Pacific Standard Time, LA, 2017 to 2018, a planned exhibition at Acme Gallery in LA, symposium at the Craft and Folk Art Museum in LA, and a catalog with curriculum. How you can help. So I do need money, but I also really need some institutional support, guidance making the catalog, and exhibition opportunities outside of LA. Muchas gracias. Thank you guys very much. And that's it. And thank you,